Despite what you may think, even world leaders need to eat. From lavish state dinners to their personal guilty pleasures, the foods they enjoyed give us a glimpse into their personalities and the culinary trends of their time. In this video, we'll take a look at what some of the most influential world leaders of the 90s loved to eat during their presidencies. Let's start with none other than Bill Clinton. If there's one thing he was known for besides politics, it was his massive appetite. White House pastry chef Roland Maynier, who served under several presidents, described Clinton's eating habits as downright scary. When he moved into the White House in 1993, the man could put away 5 or 6 pork chops in a single sitting. Yeah, you heard that right. And if you think that's wild, check this out. Clinton wasn't just into food, he was obsessed with it. The twist? He had some tricky food allergies, including chocolate and flour, but that didn't stop him from going all in on dessert. Roland recalled one night when he baked a fresh strawberry cake. Clinton found it, devoured half of it on the spot, and by the next morning, he wanted more. There was just one problem. The cake was gone. According to Roland, Clinton got so furious he started pounding on the table, shouting, "I want my goddamn cake!" The White House staff scrambled to figure out where it had gone. In the end, they jokingly blamed the disappearance on Vice President Al Gore. Eventually, all those rich foods caught up with Clinton. After leaving office, he underwent not one, but 2 heart procedures. That was the wake-up call he needed to make a change. He went full vegan, cutting out red meat, chicken, dairy. Basically, everything he'd lived on before. Honestly, with the way he ate before, it's no surprise he made the switch. If you thought Clinton's love for food was intense, just wait until you hear about Boris Yeltsin. Not only was he the first president of Russia, but also the first democratically elected leader in the country's history. And when it came to food and drink, Yeltsin kept it simple. Borscht and, of course, vodka. Lots and lots of vodka. One night in Washington, that combination led to one of the most unbelievable moments in political history. It was 1994, and Yeltsin was in Washington for his first official meeting with Bill Clinton. Rumors about his drinking habits had been circulating for years, but nothing quite like this had ever been reported, until 2009, when author Taylor Branch published the Clinton tapes, revealing the full jaw-dropping story. According to Branch, Secret Service agents once found a very drunk Yeltsin wandering Pennsylvania Avenue in nothing but his underwear, trying to flag down a taxi. Why? He was on a late-night quest for pizza. When agents tried to escort him back to Blair House, he slurred, "I need that slice." Later, Clinton just shrugged and said, "Well, he got his pizza." The very next night, Yeltsin did it again, slipping past security and stumbling into the Blair House basement. A startled guard nearly tackled him, thinking he was just some random drunk, until both Russian and American agents realized, wait, that's the president of Russia. Clinton later admitted this second incident was even riskier. A foreign leader sneaking around at night, nearly tackled by U.S. security? Yeah, that could have ended very badly. In the end, Yeltsin walked away unscathed, and hopefully well-fed. Okay, speaking of food preferences that made headlines, let's move on to another leader whose culinary choices were just as memorable, George H.W. Bush. Technically, his presidency was mostly in the late 80s, but it carried over into the early 90s, so we're counting him. And while Bush was known for many things, when it came to food, he had one very strong opinion. He absolutely hated broccoli. No, seriously, during a 1990 press conference, he declared he would never eat the green stuff again, because, as he put it, "I'm the President of the United States and I don't like broccoli." But aside from his broccoli ban, Bush was all about comfort food. Think burgers, pizza, and a good old-fashioned Tex-Mex feast. He was especially fond of a classic American diner meal, hamburgers with fries. The man even kept his love for fast food alive at Camp David, ordering in takeout from a nearby pizza joint like he was just any regular guy. So while other world leaders might have been dining on fancy dishes or regional specialties, Bush was keeping it simple. And we can't say we blame him. Now let's talk about someone with a bit more discipline. Margaret Thatcher. The Iron Lady had a strict food routine, and her two great loves were soft-boiled eggs and whiskey. And when we say she loved eggs, we mean loved them. This wasn't just a casual breakfast habit. Thatcher reportedly ate the same breakfast every single day for decades. Leading up to her 1979 election victory, she took things up a notch, diving into a hardcore Atkins-style crash diet, 28 eggs per week. That's 4 eggs a day, every day for 2 weeks straight, plus steak, salad, and of course, whiskey. This victory diet wasn't some myth. It was uncovered among personal documents released by the Margaret Thatcher Archive Trust. In her monogrammed black leather pocket diary, researchers found a typed diet sheet, meticulously checked off every day like a military mission. The goal? Lose 20 pounds to look her best when she became Prime Minister. So, what did this ultra-disciplined meal plan look like? Breakfast, eggs, grapefruit, and black coffee or tea. Lunch. More eggs, usually with tomatoes or spinach. Dinner, salad. It's a hardcore regimen that might break the average person, but not Thatcher. From Thatcher's disciplined egg obsession, we move to her successor, John Major. Unlike the Iron Lady, Major's food choices weren't about rigid meal plans or calculated dieting. Instead, he kept things simple, hearty, and unapologetically British. Major was a man of tradition when it came to food, and nothing screamed classic British cuisine more than roast beef with Yorkshire pudding. But beyond the Sunday dinner staple, he had a particular fondness for humble, everyday meals, the kind you'd find in a local pub or fish shop rather than a high-end restaurant. One of the most famous moments that cemented his man of the people image happened in 1991. Major was photographed sitting at the Happy Eater off the A1 near Doncaster, casually enjoying a plate of egg and chips. Whether intentional or not, this simple meal became a symbol of his down-to-earth persona. If there's one dish that truly defines British comfort food, it's fish and chips, and Major loved it. In 1997, he and his wife, Norma, were seen indulging in a proper serving of fish and chips in Braunton, Devon. The images of the former Prime Minister casually digging into Britain's most iconic takeaway meal reinforced what many already suspected. John Major wasn't one for fancy dining. Now, let's move to South Africa. For Nelson Mandela, few things brought him more comfort than a steaming bowl of tripe stew. Mandela had a deep love for traditional South African dishes, and tripe, which is slow-cooked cow stomach, rich in flavor and history, was a favorite. His longtime chef, Kaliswa Doyeya, who cooked for him for over 2 decades, knew exactly how much he loved it and made sure it was always on the menu. But tripe wasn't the only thing that brought back memories of home. He also had a soft spot for oxtail stew and umgusho, also known as samp and beans, which are staples in South African kitchens, always present at family gatherings and special occasions. For those curious about the food that fueled Mandela's journey, his chef's cookbook, which translates to home food, offers a peek into the meals that shaped a legend. Because for Mandela, food wasn't just about eating, it was about staying connected to his roots. From the comforting, soul-nourishing dishes of South Africa, we head to France, where food isn't just a necessity, it's practically a national pastime. And when it came to Jacques Chirac, he was all about bold, traditional French flavors, with one dish in particular stealing the spotlight: tête de veau, or calf's head. This rich, rustic dish became famous and showed his connection to France's rural heartland. So much so that after his passing in 2019, Parisians paid tribute by dining on it at one of his favorite bistros. But was this love for tête de veau exaggerated? Some say yes. Guillaume Gomez, the Élysée Palace chef, revealed Chirac was served the dish only twice in 12 years, before telling the kitchen to never make it again. Beyond calf's head, he also enjoyed classic French cheeses, escargots, and even sauerkraut. Now, let's head to Germany and Helmut Kohl, Chancellor from 1982 to 1998, a man with a deep love for so Magen. While it sounds intense, it's pure comfort food in Western Germany. Magen, literally so's stomach, is exactly what it sounds like. A pig's stomach stuffed with pork, potatoes, and spices, then boiled, sliced, and pan-fried for extra flavor. It's a hearty dish, and Kohl made sure the world knew about it. But Magen wasn't just his favorite meal, it was also a political move. Kohl personally served it to global leaders like Thatcher and others, turning this humble regional dish into a symbol of German tradition on the world stage. A leader's taste buds shaping diplomacy. Classic Kohl. Now, let's move to China, where food is an art form. And for Jiang Zemin, who led China from 1989 to 2002, few dishes capture that artistry quite like squirrel-shaped mandarin fish. This dish is a masterpiece of Jiangsu cuisine, the region where Jiang Zemin was born. The fish is sliced to resemble a squirrel, deep-fried to crispy perfection, and drenched in a vibrant sweet and sour sauce. And if you want to see this dish in all its glory, watching it come to life in a kitchen is an experience in itself. So what do you think? If you had to pick one of these world leaders' diets to try for a week, which one would it be? Let us know in the comments.